Alright guys, this video is just going to be on F4, only F4. Now to introduce the idea of F4, I am going to just remind you of what, for example, F2 looked like. So an example of F2 was x squared, let's say minus 4x plus 4 equals 0, okay? Now F4 will look a bit more like this. X squared plus 3x equals 40. Right, now if I was in class right now, I'd say, right, speak to the person next to you, what's different about these two? The fact is, as a lot of you hopefully doing inside your head right now, you realise that this equation here equals to 0, and this one doesn't. Now the importance of when solving quadratic equations, the importance of it equaling 0 is huge. I explained to you that if I was going to draw a graph, we'd do y equals x squared minus 4x plus 4. And in order to work out where it will go through the x-axis, the y value must be 0. Therefore, we rearrange that to that so that it equaled y, which was 0. And then we factorised it and solved it, and then we're able to plot it on the graph. The problem with this right now is that if I was going to draw this on a graph, y doesn't equal 0. Y equals 40 here, which would mean that we'd find the value of x maybe where y is 40. So we'd work out where x was, whether it be here or here or here or here or here. But up here, we don't really want that when we plot in a graph. We want to know what the values are on the x-axis, what the x values are. So the first step you must do with this question here, with all of F4, is rearrange it so that it does equal 0. It's imperative that your equation must equal 0 for you to then factorise it and solve it. Okay? So this one was already done for us. This one isn't. So a simple little step. I will minus 40 onto both sides. So x squared plus 3x take away 40 equals 0. Now I can do the same steps I did on F2. Okay, I cannot speak about how important that is. Your quadratic equation must equal 0 for the simple logic that when y equals 0, that is when you find out your x values. So therefore it must equal 0. So if ever you try and factorise it without it equaling 0, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be incorrect. So let's now finish this question off. I then say, well, can I factorise it? Yep, I can. It'll be x plus 8, x minus 5 equals 0. And then separately, I do x plus 8 equals 0. And I would do x minus 5 equals 0. I would minus 8 to both sides. So x would equal negative 8. And I would add 5 to both sides, so x would equal positive 5. Now again, I'm not asking you at all in these questions to plot it on the graph. I think it's useful that you see it on a graph. If I was going to here, x equals negative 8 will be around here. X equals positive 5 will be around here. So negative 8, positive 5. Now the one thing that we have not done yet is found the y-axis. Remember that to do that, x must equal 0. So 0 squared plus 3 times 0, so all of that 0. So negative 40 is y. So that will be down here, let's say negative 40. Now when I quickly draw it, that won't be the part where the curve goes up again. Think about it logically. It's going to be in the middle. So that's about the middle here. So we're more looking at a situation like that. So hopefully a lot of you understand what I've just done there with that graph there, why it couldn't be turning there, because then it wouldn't be equal on both sides down here. Okay, so that's one example. Let's do one more example of F4 and then you can hopefully crack on with it. Let's look at the example of x squared minus 12 equals x. Okay, so it looks a bit strange. Okay, they'll say solve x. solve x. They might even say plot it on the graph or sketch the graph, but let's just go with solve for now so I don't draw the graph. Okay, you say, well, fine. I know it's a quadratic because x squared there. So let me now get it in the right format. Let me make it equal 0, otherwise I can't factorize it. So I would minus x. So it would be x squared, take away x, minus 12 equals 0. Now you could argue, why don't I put the minus x after the minus 12? Well, I just prefer this layout. I prefer it to be x squared and then just an x there and then the number there. Okay, because that's the layout we're used to seeing. So then I would say, well, can I factorize it? Yep, x minus 4, x plus 3 equals 0. And then can I solve it? X minus 4 equals 0. X plus 3 equals 0. Add 4, x equals 4. Minus 3, x equals negative 3. Okay, I'm not going to draw the graph, but if I were to, you have the value of 4 here, negative 3 here, negative 12 down there, and it would look a little bit like that. Now, I don't know about all of F4. All of the examples I've gone through so far, we've had whole number answers, integer answers. You absolutely could get a situation where you don't have integer answers, which I think is more about F5 and F6, which will be in my next video. Okay? Good luck with that.